8 celestial beings, divine and powerful, was cursed to be born as mortals. All for one mistake, the theft of a single cow. Sage Vasishta's curse was swift and eternal. The AstaVasus, once immortal, now doomed to the cycle of birth and death. One by one they were born and returned to the river. But the last one of them would not. He would live to become Bhishma, the undefeatable warrior, the guardian of Hastinapura, a man shaped by destiny born from divine guilt. This is the forgotten origin of one of the greatest heroes of Mahabharata. Hello everyone, you are watching Indian Vedic Vibes. Once there was a king named Mahabharata born into Ikshvaku lineage who ruled the earth. He pleased the Lord of the gods by performing 1,000 Ashwamedha yagas and 100 Vajapaya yagnas, thereby attaining heaven. One day, many Rajashis went to pay homage to Brahma, and Mahabharata was also present. At that moment, the river goddess Ganga, in her physical form, arrived to pay her respects to Brahma. As she entered, a gush of wind blew her garments away. All the Rajashis lowered their eyes, except Mahabharata, who kept staring at her. Brahma, angered by Mahabharata's behavior, cursed him, saying he would be born again as human and must regain the heavens through merit once again. After this incident, Ganga also departed, but Mahabharata remained in her thoughts for the sad fate he attained. On her way, Ganga met the divine AstaVasus, who appeared sorrowful and devastated. Their names were Dhara, Dhruva, Soma, Aha, Anila, Anala, Pratyusha, and Prabhasa. The Vasus explained that the great Sage Vasishta in his rage has cursed them to be born on earth as mortals, a fate they could not escape. They pleaded Ganga to incarnate as a woman and bear them as her sons on earth. They also revealed that in the mortal world, Shantanu would become their father, son of King Prathipa. The Vasus made one more request to Ganga. As soon as each one of them were born, she should drown them in the river to free them from their curse, except for Prabhasa, who would have to live a long human life. Meanwhile, King Shantanu, who was Mahabharata reborn as human, was wise and talented. He loved the forest and often hunted alone. One day, while walking along the banks of the Ganga, he saw a stunning woman adorned with divine ornaments. He was astounded by her beauty. Without hesitation, he approached her and asked, "Are you from the race of gods? Demon? Gandharvas? Apsaras? Yakshas? Pannagas? Or are you a human? Whoever you are, will you marry me?" Hearing his gentle words, the woman who was Ganga, remembering her promise to Vasus, softly replied, saying she would agree to become his queen on only one condition. He must never question or interfere with her actions, whether they pleased him or not. If he ever stopped her or spoke harshly, she would leave him immediately. Shantanu agreed and they got married. He loved her deeply and restrained himself from ever questioning her. As time passed, they had children, but every time a son was born, Ganga would take the newborn and drown it in the river. Though the king was deeply hurt, he said nothing for fear of losing her. However, when their 8th son was born, Shantanu could no longer remain silent. He begged her not to kill the child and demanded to know who she was and where she came from. In response, Ganga revealed the entire story of Vasus and their curse by Vasishta. Shantanu, still confused, asked what terrible deed Vasus committed to deserve such a punishment to be born as humans. Ganga explained, Vasishta lived in a hermitage near Mount Meru and had a divine cow named Nandini, capable of fulfilling any desire. One day, all the AstaVasus came to visit the forest with their wives. One of the wives noticed the cow, knowing its powers, requested her husband Prabhasa to steal it. She wanted the milk for her friend Jinavati, the daughter of Rajarshi Ushinara, because drinking the milk would grant youth and longevity for 10,000 years, which she wanted for her friend. To please her, Prabhasa stole the cow and its calf with the help of the other Vasus, ignoring the fact that the animals belonged to the great sage Vasishta. But when Vasishta learnt of the theft, he cursed all the 8 Vasus to be born as humans and suffer mortal lives. Upon hearing the curse, the Vasus rushed back to the hermitage to beg for forgiveness. The sage frowned and declared that they would all be freed within a year except for Prabhasa, who had initiated the act. For his unforgivable sin committed under the blinding influence of his wife's greed, he would be cursed to forever sacrifice his own joy, be devoid of woman's touch, remain childless, and be bound to the path of dharma, surrendering every shred of happiness for the sake of his father. Ganga finished her story explaining that she drowned the first 7 sons to free them from their curse. The 8th child, Prabhasa, had to live on the earth, and he was their son Bhishma. With that, Goddess Ganga disappeared into the waters, taking their son with her to raise him in secret and shape him into one of the greatest archers the world would ever see. Lessons learned from the story of Ashta Vasus are: no one is above karma. Even divine beings had to face the consequences of their actions. Momentary desires can lead to lifelong consequences. A single act of greed here, even if it is influenced by others, can bring about great sufferings. This tale sets the foundation for Bhishma's life of sacrifice, duty, and celibacy, emphasizing how past karma shapes future destinies.